That takes care of the suffering. When you do the big four, you eliminate that pity party.
If you're unwilling to do the work to pull yourself out of the pity party that you're in, then it's self-imposed suffering. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. If you collapse into that and say, I am that pain, then you've chosen the suffering.
That voice is always going to be there. Don't put your shoes on. Don't walk out the door. Don't go do that. Like, stay home. Stay comfortable. You have to be like, hey, I'm not listening to you today. We're going. Come on. And you got to have fun.
I used to have a saying in SEAL training, like, it could always be worse.
That's what I love about Unbeatable. You have the coaches who do it, but tell you how to do it like they did it. And that doesn't work. The real leaders, the best leaders, are the ones like you, Mark. Do the work, lead by example, and then have your eyes on everyone else. You have to switch your mindset.
You got to be able to see the win.
What we do is...
Hi, welcome to the Mark Divine Show. I'm your host, Mark Divine. If you're a leader ready to grow, you push your limits and lead with purpose, then you're in the right place. So thanks for being here. Here at the Mark Divine Show, we're dedicated to helping you lead with courage, resilience, and awareness. I've got a good friend as a guest today, Melanie Sliwka.
Very good.
Thank you. That's a ridiculously hard name to pronounce. She's an architect of elite performance and wellness. She's been a performance and mindset coach at this incredible company called SEALFIT and a sister company called unbeatablemind.com, a couple of companies I know a lot about for many years.
Yeah.
Guess what, ladies? She's a graduate of the hardest training in the world outside of Navy SEAL Hell Week called Kokoro.
Yeah.
50 hours of nonstop training, no sleep. That was fun to watch.
Crazy.
Melanie has a world record in the most burpees a six-person team, mixed gender, could complete in 24 hours. And we did 36,393 or something like that.
We didn't even count. We stopped counting.
I want to talk about that. That was crazy. And you designed you architected that win. That's crazy. Melanie is a nutritionist. She got a master's in functional medicine and nutrition. She's the creator of a powerful program called 6 Weeks to Cleaner Eating and author of a book by that name, which you can find on Amazon. And she's very passionate about helping children develop better nutritional skills. Yep. And her program is called Food Fight, which blends physical grit, mental resilience, and effective nutrition. Melanie's mission is to help individuals and families thrive through food, training, purpose, and purposeful living, all while reducing unnecessary suffering. I like that.
Yeah, right? It's important.
Heck yeah.
You gotta suffer.
So many people, like Catherine and I were just talking about this, so many people do violence to themselves in the name of self-improvement.
I know. Every day.
You look at the CrossFit community.
Right? And it's inflammation and it's illness and you're in disease again.
That's right. Yeah.
It's
very
curious.
Very curious. I can't believe it took us this long to get you on the podcast.
I know. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, this was, and what Mark did not say was that he made me do that burpee thing. No.
I invited you to.
He invited me.
You know what's funny? The six people, right? There were 3 men and 3 women.
Yep.
All of us were certified yoga instructors too.
Wow.
It's one of the reasons we were able to stay resilient and pliable, flexible throughout those 24 hours of nonstop burpees.
Yeah, makes sense.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. Huh.
Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, we did an incredible job. Mark likes to put things to me and ask me to do crazy things. Like he'll just come into the office and say, let's do, 100 burpee pull-ups. And, after I've run a marathon or something, I'm like, okay, let's do that. See how it goes.
So here's another one. Speaking of that, just kind of like spontaneous challenges. These are really fun, folks. Like if you want to just do something crazy once in a while, at least once a week, something that's like harder than you want to do by far.
Every day.
Every day you should do something harder than you want to do, but every week you should do something you think is a little bit nuts.
Why do you think people don't do that?
Once a quarter, you should do something that like scares you.
Absolutely.
Like next for me is rim to rim. I want to take a client across that. That little scares me a little bit.
Yeah, I did that.
Did you? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. Because in that heat.
It's fine. You're going to kill it.
Got to go the right time of year.
Yeah, it's just a long rock. Don't take too much stuff. I took 40 pounds. It was a huge mistake.
Yeah, that's heavy.
Yeah.
So do you remember the time I tapped you on the shoulder and said, hey, let's try this. Let's do an hour-long plank followed by 1,000 push-ups.
I remember.
And we did
never forget. And we drug other people in to do it too.
We did drag some others in.
It was
there.
very mean. But you know what? The reason that we can do that and the reason that all of the folks watching can do that is because of your attitude. Right. It's actually not the
mindset
feet.
comes first.
Mindset comes
So where the mind leads, the body follows. So if you set the intention to say, I'm going to do this, And then the big 4 skills, which I'd love to talk through, like how those helped you through Kokoro, right? Just controlling your breathing, which controls your emotions, and then getting that positive internal dialogue going, right? Just a steady positive mantra or a steady positive dialogue amongst a team that says, we can do this. Let's go. And then micro goals, right? We didn't do all 1,000 push-ups at once.
No.
It wasn't a set of 1,000.
No.
Right?
We didn't even know how many we
started
get.
out doing 20 sets of 20, and then it went to 10, and then it went to 5.
That's right.
And we stayed with 5.
We stayed with 5. Sometimes
so
we
micro
amped it
goals,
up.
breath control, positive internal dialogue, and imagery. But you got to be able to see the win. Right?
And that's the thing about the suffering. I mean, that takes care of the suffering. When you do the big 4, you eliminate that pity party.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you're staying in that positivity. You're focusing on others. You're with your team. And that's why people suffer so much, don't want to train, don't want to eat right, don't want to do the things because they're so comfortable.
If you're unwilling to do the work to pull yourself out of whatever, like you call it, the pity party that you're in, then it's self-imposed suffering. I had a quote that my team posted on social media that got a lot of pushback. And I understand the pushback. The quote is, pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional.
I love it.
And people are like, well, what if it's someone who's got, a long-term illness or is suffering from deadly disease or something? And I'm like, that's true. That is pain, and they're going to have pain. But suffering is a mental thought. Like pain is physical. Suffering is mental. And so if you have a different kind of relationship with pain or even your body, let's take the spiritual realm, right? It's addiction to the idea that you are only the body that is the cause of suffering according to the Buddhist tradition. And so if you have a better relationship with your body and say, this body is actually a vessel for my soul, and it's incumbent upon me to take care of it. And by taking care of it, it's going to enhance the quality of the experience while I'm on this planet. But when it does get injured or suffer some sort of pain, which is inevitable because the body is, just matter, just a meat sack. If you collapse into that and say, I am that pain, then you've chosen the suffering. And maybe choice is not the right word because it's pretty much automatic.
Yeah, you surrendered to it.
Yeah, for people to do that.
Yeah.
But like I could say that they do have the choice to begin to disidentify from that idea. And if you do that as a practice, and this is what we train during Kokoro.
Why we do these things.
Exactly what Kokoro and these challenges are for is like, you get to a point where suddenly you realize, that pain is just a signal. And you can turn that into positive motivation or use it to avoid injury or change what you're doing and do something different. I think it's fascinating. And again, to me, self-awareness is like the first and most important skill of mental toughness. What's going on, leaders, warriors, and CEOs? Let me ask you something. What if 3 days could change the way you lead forever? Not with hype, but with a proven system tested by Navy SEALs, CEOs, and other high-stakes leaders who've learned to lead themselves before leading others. Most leadership training focuses on strategy and tactics. But if your inner world is misaligned, no strategy is going to save you. That's why I created the Unbeatable Leader Challenge. It's not about more information. It's about transformation. In 3 days, I'll give you not only the tools, but the live training to master your mind, your emotions, and your mission. Join the thousands who've taken my challenges and walked away with a battle-tested framework to unlock courage, clarity, and conviction in the most demanding moments of life and leadership. Grab your spot now at unbeatableleader.com. Once again, that's unbeatableleader.com. It's time to become the leader that you were born to be. Hoo-yah. Now let's get back to the show.
That voice is always going to be there.
Right.
That voice that's like, don't put your shoes on. Don't walk out the door. Don't go do that. Like, stay home. Stay comfortable. And so you have to have a relationship with that voice. You have to have like a friendship with that part of yourself, I think.
Right.
You have to be like, hey, I'm not listening to you today. We're going. Come on. And you got to have fun. I wouldn't do any of the stuff you've told me to do if it weren't for you and my team and having fun. Like I knew it was going to suck big time. I knew a lot of this stuff was going to be really hard. Might even get injured. Like things might have happened.
Right.
But I knew that my team would be there and we would be laughing the entire time. And maybe some people would be crying. Maybe we'd be holding each other and maybe we'd be rallying together. But there was that happiness,
The joy.
that I connected
the
to.
joy
We
of
connect
doing
to it.
something hard with the team is undescribable. Like
Undescribable.
that is what makes the SEAL team so powerful, right? And what we do at Kokoro and SEALFIT. When you train together and you experience breaking through the resistance that the training pain creates, and finding that kind of flow at a team level where you're operating, doing something really hard and challenging, but you're finding it to be exhilarating and fun, like you said. And one of the major tools that you learn is humor.
Yeah, you have to.
So this is why some of the, I thought SEAL training was one of the funniest periods of my life. And my teammates were absolutely hysterical because we're so used to being in these such shitty situations, so bad that you can almost only laugh at it. You're like, what the heck?
Yeah. It's
Here we go again.
Yeah, like your shoulder. We talked to Mark right after he has his, he's almost died. His shoulder's completely
Shattered.
Obliterated.
Obliviated.
Massively broken, man. And he's like in a bar in Chicago, like trying to watch a game because it's just, what are you going to do?
My wife will absolutely be mortified that I mentioned this, but it was pretty funny. So my shoulder is completely shattered. I can't move my arm, and my arm's in a sling, and it's cold outside, 20 below zero, and I can't zip up my jacket. So I put the jacket around me, and I asked Sandy to zip it up. She goes down on her hands and knees right in front of me in the restaurant to zip up my jacket. And the whole restaurant just stops and looks and says, what's happening over there? She turns beet red, and we're like,
we're leaving.
I got this. Luckiest man alive.
Yeah. Oh. You always need a hand. You need a hand.
Well, humor helps keep things in perspective. Right? We used to have a saying in SEAL training, like it could always be worse. No matter how hard it is, it could always be worse. And then find, humor or some sort of expression of support to your teammates are some of the best ways to push through, right? Whatever resistance you're experiencing.
So how do we coach that? How do we help people? Because, if we had the prescription for that, everybody would be fit. Everyone would eat well.
I know.
That's what I love about Unbeatable, right? So if you think of leadership, you think of like the leader, like your high school coach or your high school gym teacher. I shouldn't say coach because there's a lot of great coaches out there, but your high school gym teacher, and you got the belly and they're like, climb the rope. And you're like, you climb the rope.
Show us how it's done.
Yeah, right? And then you have the leader who's like, yeah, I used to be able to do that.
Right.
I know how to do it. I used to be able to do that. I can coach you. And you're like, yeah.
Well, I think it can be coached, but you got to start young, kind of like what you're doing. It used to be that our culture was a lot more resilient. And I think it will go back in the other direction. Like they're bringing the presidential fitness test back.
Good.
Remember JFK started that? I remember doing that as a kid, right? We had PE. Yeah. We need to bring PE back into the schools. We got stripped out because of all the lawyers. Gosh, before all the addictive stuff, like social media and the iPhone, people had to be outside playing, creating, challenging themselves.
You have to do it. We have
hurting
to do
themselves.
Well,
even.
California now, next year, they'll take the cell phones out of the classroom. That bill was just passed.
Yeah, so there are some kind of springtime signs that we might swing in the other direction, but we're kind of at the tail end of kind of a weakening of our culture. I mean, this is one of the reasons we ran the last public Kokoro event in July.
Yeah.
Because year over year, we've run it for 20 years, our numbers have just been going down. So fewer and fewer people are willing to step into that arena and challenge themselves at that level.
So then you have the coaches who do it, but tell you how to do it like they did it. And that doesn't work either. Not all the time. It can, but you have to have a special person who really connects with you.
Right.
Like you can tell me what to do like you because I get you on a different level. But then that only works for a small group of people. Right. And then the real leaders, the best leaders, are the ones like you, Mark, who do the work. You got to do the work, or you have to try. Or
you got to lead by example.
You got to lead by example. And then you have to have a lot of experience. Right. And then you have to have your eyes on everyone else and provide everyone
you can't
with the
coach
toolbox.
with ChatGPT.
You can't because you don't. You would not know
nuances and whatnot.
the person you're dealing. That's what I love about functional medicine. Mm-hmm. And that's why we're turning towards functional medicine as opposed to Western medicine now, because it's the individual. It's like, what is your background? How did you get here? And then when we figure out that, you can take a step back and go, oh, no wonder I eat Doritos. No wonder I'm eating Twinkies. No wonder I'm sitting on the couch watching sitcoms, because that's what we did as kids.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah, I used to eat Captain Crunch and peanut butter and fluff and nutter sandwiches.
Yeah, Nutter Butters.
And nutter, oh yeah, it's just awful. With white bread, of course. We didn't know. My parents didn't know. But now we do. So we have a lot more information. You know, how long have you been working with us? It's like
15 years.
15 years.
15
So
years.
you and I, are literally the OGs when it comes to teaching mental toughness through a holistic integrative approach, which includes physical training. Our particular brand of physical training can be more challenging than a lot of people are ready for, but that's fine. So like with Unbeatable Mind, we're not prescriptive. We don't say, go do Navy SEAL training. We say, well, if yoga is your thing, do yoga.
That's right.
Whatever,
Move.
Pilates, but move your body.
Right.
Because you can't leave the body behind when it comes to growth. Right? It's integral to everything. It's the foundation.
It's a foundation.
And then we work with the mind, and then you got to work with the emotions. And then we work with your intuition, which is, guiding your guidance system.
And if you think of the big four you mentioned, like the emotional factors is like the positivity,
Right.
You have to like switch your mindset. And then the intuition is like those micro steps, like, what do I do now? Okay, that.
Right.
Okay, that.
Intuition and mindset are, like you said, they're really closely related. They're on both sides of emotionality. Because a lot of people don't know what intuition is. They don't experience it because they can't discern the subtlety of the sensations because their body's out of shape and their emotional signals are all kind of all over the place.
They can't get outside of themselves.
And so they're literally drowns out the intuitive signals. I don't know if you knew this, but the 5 mountains are listed in the order they are because it is a progression from gross to subtle, almost like the koshas of yoga, right? And so intuition is getting to be very, very subtle energy. The physical body is the most grossest, not gross and disgusting, but thick energetically. And then mental energy, and then emotional energy, and then intuition, and then spirit or causal. So we have to work through the physical, mental, and emotional to be able to really tap into your intuition. But you can do that in the context of even just a hard training session or like a Coro or a challenge event. You also go through those 5 mountain experiences and you get more and more subtle cues coming, right? Intuitive cues. And then you have this experience of pure presence, which we call flow state, the experience of flow. And that's when you burst through all the resistance, physical, mental, emotional. And now you're acting spontaneously, intuitively, in a state of present. And this is where the time starts to warp and
Flow.
So you can look at the 5 mountains as you train those so that you can get to that state quicker and pull it forward. And eventually that becomes your permanent nature, right? The training integrates those 5 mountains so that you live from that inside out instead of outside in, which is where everyone else is living.
It's hard. I mean, it's
It
hard
takes
to
training.
do. It takes so much
Training and practice, yeah.
It takes initiative. It takes a good leader.
Yeah.
It takes
Well, you got to
somebody
lead
show you how.
yourself on that journey, but it does require...
But people won't, Mark. I mean,
It
a lot
requires-
of people won't.
It requires effective means, and there's, most of the developmental programs are kind of like one-dimensional,
Yeah.
horizontal. It could be just habit forming or even therapies. Therapy is useful, but it's more useful when it's combined with these other, modalities.
100%. It's what all therapists tell you. Go out and move.
Right.
That's like the first thing. That's the first thing for like bipolar disorder. It's the first thing for any kind of disease.
Right.
It's the first thing. And we all know that.
That's right.
And we all know we all know we're not supposed to eat. We all know that by
I'd
now.
say a good percentage, and it probably might be a stat out there for this, of anxiety and depression conditions can be solved just through exercise and nutrition
100%.
and sleep, of course, which are going to go hand in hand.
Oh, sleep is massive. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you don't exercise, you can't have a great quality of sleep either.
They kind of go hand in hand. Of those 3, sleep, exercise, and nutrition, which do you think is the most important? I mean, they're all important.
I know I always say sleep
Yeah.
Because if you don't sleep, it's very hard to have.
It could degrade you the quickest too.
Yeah, and you're not clear-minded. You can't train as hard, or you can't do the things you'd want to because you could get an
Your hormones go out of whack.
Your hormones out of whack.
Which means your
emotions are out of whack.
Your emotions are out of whack. Your appetite's going to be out of whack.
Everything. Yep.
Your mood is going to be shitty, so you're not going to want to train. So yeah, it's a downward spiral from there.
But then I thought about it, and I was like, I was studying some of my clients, and I was like, they sleep like 5 hours and they seem okay, but they're pressuring themselves to get 8. And I'm like, okay. So remember, we have to jump back to that individual perspective of that person. I'm like, okay, well, so they're not training like we do. So they may be walking 30 minutes, and then they're spending a lot of time at their desk, and then they're not sleeping well. But they're sleeping well, but it's short. So is that okay? And I think it is. I think that if you are not like breaking down your muscles the way that we're used to, obviously that's a better route. But if you're not doing that, maybe 8 hours as an adult isn't absolutely necessary.
I agree with you. And I think the older you get, the less sleep you need.
Your body's not growing, right? Hormone production's less.
And the more meditation you do, the less sleep you need. Because deep meditation has a lot of the qualities. It can put you in a delta or even a theta state. It has a lot of the restorative qualities of sleep. And there are like meditators, longtime meditators from the yogi tradition who they barely sleep at all. They doze off once in a while at night.
Yeah.
But they don't need it.
They don't move either.
Well, they got their body to a point where they don't need to do the asana. The asana, the yoga movement, what we think of yoga, is all preparation for them to sit in meditation.
That's right. Long periods of time.
Yeah. So sleep is critical.
But for you, and then when you start training, and then you're like, I need more.
Yeah, I'm right. If you're going to break down your body and train hard, you're going to need more sleep. It's very personalized, like you said. But it is kind of a wives' tale that everybody needs 7.5 to 8 hours of sleep.
100%. People pressure themselves about that. The only reason that I bring that up is because that's suffering.
Right.
Like if you're like, I get 8 hours again, my ring says, okay, but how do you feel? Can you get outside and move?
Right. I would submit that a lot of people have trouble sleeping because they're kind of stuck in a hyper-arousal state. Yeah. Which, a lot of people are because of the constant busyness and distraction and negativity and fear porn that's going on around the world.
Oh, yeah.
And so they're always being just triggered into their sympathetic fight or flight. And so the person, and if they don't have a practice like box breathing, right, or meditation that calms down and activates the parasympathetic, then the parasympathetic atrophies. It literally goes dormant.
Yeah.
And so then this new normal is I'm always in this sympathetic overactivity. So then you're always flooded with cortisol and adrenaline and everything. And guess what? You're not sleeping.
No.
You can't sleep with cortisol coursing through your brain and your body.
You're not going to get deep sleep.
Not deep sleep, yeah. And so you wake up with that feeling like you're all fuzzy around the eyes and the front of your executive function is just not working. You're like, oh man, I can't think straight. And you might have been in bed for 8 hours.
Yeah, stress sleep.
It's stress sleep, yeah. So then the overcompensation is cups of espresso or coffee, and then a hardcore workout if you're an athlete, and then you start to feel normal. And then in the evening, you got the beer or the wine. So you have all these compensating mechanisms, right, to mask over the fact that you're stuck in hyper-arousal. Yeah. So for me, exercise and breath practices are some of the best ways to counteract that and get your parasympathetic.
Saved my life,
Yeah.
The breath practice alone saved my life. When I met Mark, I was like, what is Unbeatable? And so he let me peek and see what the program was he was creating. And I was like, oh, what is this breath practice? And it changed my life. It literally changed my life from hyper-arousal.
Box breathing has changed everybody's life who've done it.
Everybody.
Dedicated every day.
Never met someone who did it.
No. Within 3 weeks, they're seeing significant changes. Within 3 months, total transformation. And that's just the beginning.
Just the beginning.
Yeah, that's cool.
Then you can get your hands on the reins.
Right. And so you want a surefire way to get out of hyper-arousal, just 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes in the evening, sit and box breathe. Just box breathe and follow it.
Do it while you're driving.
Follow the breathing with your mind.
Yeah.
You can do it while you're driving.
Do it anywhere.
Yes.
Do it on the plane, train.
Automobile.
Walk on the beach.
That's right. Just doing the box breathing, like standing in a line at a bank or something like that, it's really about just arousal control. It's activating the parasympathetic nervous system. calmly inhaling deeply, diaphragmatically through the nose, massaging the vagus nerve, you're basically dumping all those good hormones in, counterbalancing the stress hormones. So that's arousal control, has enormous benefits. Yeah. But when you can sit on a chair or a bench or even in your bed for 20 minutes and box breathe with attention, now you've got 3 practices, actually 4 practices, right, that all train your mind. So box breathing goes from a physiological practice, which is a physical mountain, into a mental practice, and then even an emotional practice. So what I mean by watching it closely is you turn it into, you control your attention to, with your eyes closed, follow the inhale and the hold, and the exhale and the hold. Follow every little nuance, every moment. I say like you're Inspector Clouseau, and you got a spyglass, and you're looking at it really, and you're looking at all the sensations. You're feeling everything. You're feeling the energy flow in. You're feeling the effects of that inhale, hold, and the expansion of the mind that causes. You're feeling the exhale and all the energy and the settling of the grounding effect of that exhale. And in that exhale, hold, right, which people have a lot of fear. You're just looking at that. That lack of oxygen, the lack of air in your lungs, and just hold that. You just watch that. So you just watch this, right? So we call that attention control. So you're training your mind to be less distractible, and because you're holding your attention on that one thing. Now your mind will wander, but you're also now training your mind to notice the wandering, and to bring it back to the practice faster and faster. Mm-hmm. That sounds a lot like Zen concentration training. Yeah. So now you've got arousal control, attention control, concentration training, and you're deepening your powers of attention and concentration by holding this pattern and just keeping your mind on that box pattern for as long as you can. We're shooting for 50%, so for 10 minutes. If you can say, with integrity that you're actually more really focused on that, and to the exclusion of all else for 10 minutes, out of the 20, man, that's huge.
It's huge, and it's hard. I mean, it's not easy, but you get used to it, and the benefit you get from just walking out of that one practice, that one huge. Time.
Yeah. Now imagine doing this twice a day for 20 minutes, every day.
Time literally slows down.
Yeah, the transformation of the body and the mind, it's extraordinary, really.
It does. If you think you're busy and you're overscheduled and all these things are happening, and you add this, you see, you're like, I don't want to add it. I don't want another 20 minutes or 10 minutes, but trust us, if you add that.
Right. You start to see, for me, the experience over time led me to see that I would mindlessly take on a lot of things that I shouldn't take on, chase a lot of things that I shouldn't chase, say yes to things that I shouldn't say yes to, because you just develop that stillness and that clarity. And it's almost like you've now got a kind of a white backdrop from which to analyze everything that comes in. Yeah. And that backdrop is silence, it's stillness, right? Yeah. So everything that is now in contrast to that shows up much more clearly, much more bright. You're like, oh, why would I want to do that? No. Nope. Yeah. Agreed. Now, I do want to mention one more thing, and I want to tie this to kind of like your transformation. I think it's been fun to watch your growth, right? As a mother,
it's been incredible.
Single mother, form relationship with your kids and your mom, and your own shadow, right? It's been incredible. But so box breathing and this practice that I've described, which, by the way, we're the OGs, right, to introduce box breathing.
I know, it's so weird how that happened.
And now people are earning millions of dollars with breath companies, breath training, certifications, everything, and we haven't even sold one person just simple breathing exercise.
How can you sell air?
I know, it's free medicine. Come on. Right. Yeah. Anyway, so this is starting to get into like more of a true meditation from that perspective of like Eastern mindfulness. But as you do this practice of concentration and you develop the capacity to notice that your mind is not concentrating on the box pattern, but is suddenly skipped off and is chasing a thought, ruminating, right? Default mode network, click back in. There's a point in time after an extended period of practice, and it'll be different for everybody. Some people it takes years, some people never happens, some people maybe 6 months, where suddenly you recognize that the noticer is different than the thinker. that thoughts are things that are just happening. And the one noticing, which we call the witness,
Yes.
is not those. It's not the thoughts.
Right.
Now, this is like a complete identity shift, because all of your self-concepts and identity, objects and mental models and beliefs and everything are all just thoughts. And so as you open up to this witnessing, observing quality, and you see that you are not your thoughts, then that leads you to the most dangerous question. If I'm not that, then who am I? Mm-hmm. Which is the question that Ramana Maharshi would ask people to ask themselves.
Yeah, we are one.
So this practice has profound spiritual energy in it, right? If you follow it to its end. But start out with just getting healthy.
You know what it does? It takes the pressure off us. That's what I found
That's
about
true.
the witness process.
You don't take yourself as seriously.
Yeah, you don't take yourself as seriously, and you realize that, all these little things that you do are just little habits or protective mechanisms your ego creates to protect, whatever it is you have that you want to protect. And so, right? And so it's, and you can see that and you just go, okay, all right, so I'm doing that. Maybe I'm doing that right now.
That's
Maybe
interesting. That's how you get the emotional development, though, because you look at those patterns, the habitual thought patterns, which are usually trauma-informed from childhood, and you can see them now because you're separated. You've developed that space between the thoughts and your identification with thoughts. So, you become non-reactive. You're like, oh, look at that. There it goes again.
Exactly.
I just got triggered, but you caught it really early.
What a gift.
You didn't, take off on the black stallion to the
Or, and
we were
then
talking
you see
about
it around
road
you.
rage on the, earlier. Catherine was like, when she was younger, the middle finger would come out, right? Yeah. And now she's just like, thumbs up. That's a good one, right? You catch it really quickly.
Yeah, you do.
You become non-reactionary, and also you become, humor and humility share a root word. You become humble and more humorous, which means you have a lighter relationship with your ego.
Why it's hard to reach people, because you don't have that. It gets in your way a little bit, I think.
Sure.
And I've seen for you, because Mark is so humble that it's really hard to get him to do something.
Get reactive to
right. Or be like some big personalities,
Yeah.
follow me. You're not going to see Mark say that. It's just that because your ego is in check and your witness is always there going, don't do that, Mark. That's ridiculous. You don't need to be anything but exactly who you are, exactly the form and the function and the thoughts that are in front of us. So to be able to put yourself out there in the world and say, look at me, it's hard to do. I think it's hard to do when you're really tuned into your witness.
If it's supposed to happen, it'll happen.
100%
As long as you
agreed.
don't take it personally.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Yeah.
As I say, who's doing this? Well, Mark personality is here, but it's not like when I talk and speak, I'm not constructing thoughts.
No.
I'm just waiting to see what shows up. Sometimes that doesn't work so well for me.
I hear you. I hear you.
So on your journey, right,
Yeah.
of exploration, discovery, transformation.
Yeah.
You came 15 years ago. You started training and working with us, learning the skills.
Yeah.
I remember you were skinny little,
Super skinny.
whatever.
I was sad. I was broken. Whatever you would consider that. I was not well. I was in a state of disease for sure.
Yeah.
Emotionally, mentally, physically. And I came I actually just came because somebody told me to come visit you. Another Navy SEAL said, go see Mark. He'll teach you how to deal with barbells. You know nothing. And I went, okay. I've always had that learner spirit about me. I always want to know. And so I met you, and then I was like, this is cool. Right. I think I can do this. Pretty skinny, but I think I can do this. And then, I started managing the membership at the CrossFit. Right. And then we did some challenge, and I was dealing with such incredible people like Rob Wolf and Ben Greenfield and yourself. And I had all these amazing mentors around me. I felt just blessed. I feel like I landed there, like you said, like my witness is like, okay, you're right there. Mm-hmm. You're going to go right there. We're going to put you there. And then you're going to help people. You're just going to help people, Mel. That's what you're going to do. You're going to help people. You help people have fun.
Right.
Doing hard stuff.
Right.
And I think that if that were my one offering, if you want to come and work with me or you, what we do is that we're going to do the hardest things that you can possibly do. We're going to have a good time doing it. We're going to have a great attitude.
Right. So how did your, two things I want to get into. One is like me, you had some emotional trauma
Yeah.
as a child. How have you dealt with that? And then I want to talk about 6 weeks of clean eating before we wrap.
You have to look at it.
It's the biggest challenge in life, and people need to look at it, right?
Yeah.
They need to look at it if they want to feel whole and get rid of their demons.
There's still so much work around it. When you talk about the other day, you were talking about your unique offering, and I had to look all the way back to like the years when my dad was an alcoholic. He's recovered, I don't know, 20 years or something now. So he's doing his work, and I love my dad. So I'm going to preface that. We have a really good relationship, but he was highly abusive alcoholic. Beat everybody up all the time. Beat up the neighbors.
Really?
Beat up the neighbors' kids.
Jeez.
Beat everybody up. And he was really sick as a child too. His parents abused him. And so I had to identify like the line. I had to go back like a functional medicine doctor would and go, where did it start? Well, it started way back before me. Right. And started back culturally. And so I started to create this picture around my background so that it wasn't sad, it just was. It just was a thing. Right. And then I started to find out like more and more people that I graduated with from high school had dads like that too. And I was like, okay, so
You're
this
not
was,
alone, right?
Yeah, I'm not alone. This was how people did it. And it sucks. So how do I make it better? How do I stop that progression? And so then that's like the greatest opportunity ever. It's like right. And then I got divorced, my marriage failed, which was a big failure for me, felt like. And I had to forgive myself, do this work, and I had to go, okay, well, we were here, and now I'm here. So how do I not turn into a train wreck is where you showed me. I showed up with Mark. How do I not turn into a train wreck? How do I go out drinking with the girls and doing things and eventually getting a DUI or whatever could happen when you're in pain and you're trying to medicate? And so the work, the fitness, the nutrition, my kids, my inspiration, connecting with my why, all of those things that I learned from Unbeatable. I mean, people don't even connect with their why. Like, why are you here? Like, why are you doing this? I don't know, because I'm a human and I guess I have to. And so that started my journey. And then the work got deeper and deeper. And so I took a look at that unique offering the other day and I went, because it's different from your one thing. If you have one thing you're living for right now, like I lived for my kids for a long time because they were little. So that's
right.
my one thing.
Yeah.
And I have my purpose, as you said, right? Increase health, reduce unnecessary suffering. But this was, who was I as a little kid that came into my family and what was my purpose? What was I doing? What did I like to do?
Yeah, what would you be doing? Who would you be serving? And how would you serve if there were zero obstacles? That's like the unique offer. Right.
It's the unique offer. And I've always been the kid that's like, you got this. It's okay. You can forgive yourself. Massively empathetic. And always a bright side person. Like, let's turn this around.
Yeah.
Let's make this fun and good.
And I love that you've built that food fight program, which is full of all that positive energy and play and teaching through.
Speaking of.
Teaching through play and humor. What the heck is this? This is a tomato?
So my kids' food fight, we want to have fun, right? We want to have fun. We want to teach families to have fun with their kids. We want to teach them to be goofy.
Do I have to put this on? Yeah. Melanie, I'll do this for you. Nobody else. Nobody else can get me to do this. Oh my God. That is awful.
Woo!
So,
burpee champions right here.
Is this a strawberry or a tomato?
Whatever you want it to be. I think yours is a tomato and mine's a strawberry. I wore a shirt to match mine, so I knew I was going to put it on. I've done ice baths in this.
You are going to pay big time for this. Right.
What's our favorite exercise at events?
We're not going to be able to keep a straight face.
Okay,
Our ice bath.
You take them off. So that's what it all starts, though. It starts with like joy and happiness and just like finding a little bit, especially with nutrition and fitness, right?
How do you, is it content? How do you?
So what I've discovered with the kids' food fight, it's called Kids Food Fight, by the way. What I've discovered is that like we have, a bunch of parents that don't have a lot of money. People like myself, like I'm connecting to the people that were like me. How do we get these kids to eat foods that they don't want to eat because they're overexposed to hyperpalatable foods?
Yeah, they're already addicted to that stuff.
The statistic right now is 8.9% of all kids in the world are overweight.
80? What?
8.9.
8.9. Okay.
Okay, so that's
Worldwide.
188 million children.
What about in the United States? Do you know? It's probably much higher.
Yeah, no, because we're shipping all that stuff everywhere in the world now. So India's got a massive problem, Mexico's got a massive problem, Indonesia's got a problem. Like everyone has. China has a massive problem because everyone's eating this food that we made here in America.
Yep.
Yeah. And then we taught everyone else how to make it, and now everyone eats it, and it tastes so good. You can't. If you give your kid that food, there's no way you're going to be able to fight that child on giving them that again. They're going to know. So I'm trying to help folks at the beginning, and we're already tainted. So we've got to like be the leaders. So I created this first, and then I went, oh, but the kids. And once you're overweight, you're overweight. Did you know that? Once you create your fat cells as a teenager, those are the fat cells you'll have for your life, and they will simply expand. So you can gain a few more, but generally they'll expand or they'll contract according to what you're eating.
Interesting.
Yeah. And so we've got to stop that early. We've got to curb that, and you're going to have a genetic component to that, so it's not 100%. So that's why I created this. I felt it was dire, like right now, to help the parents get a handle on how to help their kids eat better food.
Do you find that you have to get the parent healthy and eating well in order for them to help their kids?
No. And you can't always.
Yeah, right. Because their habits are pretty ingrained.
Right, and they're busy, and they've got their excuses, and they've got that mindset. So, but you start. And so what we do is we're empowering the parents to keep the food out of the house, and if they're going to eat it, don't do it in front of the kids, right? By all means. The kids are going to get it. They're going to get it any corner of the world. They're going to find the bag products. They're going to find the sodas.
So you're addressing both the parents and the kids.
Yeah, it's a kid. It's a family game. It's a family game.
That's really interesting.
We do 1 little week increments where they get 3 little challenges a day. We do this several times a year. And we've got thousands of families come out. And most of them are low income because they just want something to help that's fun. And we do hilarious things. There's like water fights, and there's like eat with no hands, but it's healthy food, right? Like there's like goofy stuff where, kids are never going to forget that, and they're going to associate.
And do people post pictures and how to?
Oh yeah.
That's
They
cool.
post pictures, they post videos, they do charades, they're doing physical feats. The parents, they're doing gymnastics, whatever that looks like. But the kids are just having a great time, and they do it over and over again with their family. And one of the most important things about the nutrition is that we have them, because kids can't like go and garden. Like a lot of the kids that are in low income situations don't have a garden. They might have a community garden, but just going to the grocery store with their parents and saying, what do you want to get? Get any fruit or vegetable you want. We're going to do this for a week. And when they pick it, even if it's not out of the ground, they invest. And so then they have that like, this is my vegetable. I got carrots this week. And so then when they taste it, I'm making up this statistic for sure, but I'm going to say it's 50% more likely they're going to like that food, right?
Probably.
Because they picked it and they were empowered by it.
Right. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So it's just these little steps. We're building an app so that we can have a farther reach, and trying to help one kid at a time, because that's really back to the witness. Like that's what. I could do a lot of things. I could train, and I could do a lot of things in the world. But what does this world need? And that's where I tune into the witness and say, yeah, I love helping everyone. And I love helping adults because that's fun. And I connect with them. And I actually never really liked working with kids.
Yeah. But it brings out the kid in you.
Yes, but I've
sure.
learned to love it again through this. And I've learned to love the parents, because it really does come down to the parents, creating the relationship with the parents and the child to be stronger.
Yeah. Well, anyone who's going to enroll in that program obviously cares a lot about their kids and shares your belief that it's really important. I agree with you.
Not all of them, though. Some of them are, they love their kids, but they're scared. They're like, they don't know what to do. People don't know what to do with their kids because they've already had the soda. They've already had, the foods they're not supposed to. And then it's like, how do you take them back?
And you think about all the behavior problems from all that sugar coursing through their body.
100% in school. How do you, and they're not mature, so kids can't rationalize out of it. I want it, and I want it now. That's it. The parents are all, okay, have it, okay, I'm done, I gotta go.
So kidsfoodfight.com.
Kidsfoodfight.com, Instagram.
And Instagram,
Facebook.
Kids Food Fight.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I'm really proud of you for doing that.
Thank you,
I
Mark.
know it's going to blow up.
Thank you.
Help a lot of people.
I hope so. That's the aim. That's the goal.
Great conversation. Thanks for coming down here.
Thank
in
you
person.
for having me, Mark. You have strawberry in your hair still.
Do I?
Or tomato.
Tomato.
We'll get it in a minute.
I can't believe you.
Thanks
got
for
me
wearing
to
my
put that
goofy
on.
hat. Yay! You got to do an ice bath with them now. And send me out a little post for Kids Food Fight.
Okay. Maybe. Thanks, Mel. Hoo-yah.
Hoo-yah, my friend. Thank you, Mark. Thanks
Yeah,
for all the
thank
work
you.
that you do. Thanks for being my greatest
We
mentor.
got more to come.
Great leader.
We're just getting
yeah,
warmed
we do.
up.
We're just getting warmed up, people.
Be fun to see what's next.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in to the Mark Divine Show, folks. Appreciate you walking this path of leadership, growth, and impact with me and my guest, Melanie.
Hoo-yah.
If today's episode inspired you, please share it with your friends and colleagues. Spread the word, leave a review to help others discover the show. And if you'd like to learn more about Melanie's program, go to kidsfoodfight.com. If you'd like to learn more about what we do at Unbeatable Mind, Melanie and I and the rest of our coaches, go to unbeatablemind.com. Discover how you can work with us directly in our personal leadership develop and team development transformation programs. You can follow me on Instagram at Mark Divine Official. So, hoo-yah. That's it. Till next
Hoo-yah.
time.
See you
Hoo-yah.
next time.
Forge an unbeatable you. Out here.